Hi, my name is Colbert and let's start with Black Mesa. This is an original Half-Life just with better graphics and better, everything. It is made by fans and it is made so good that you can find Black Mesa officially on Steam, where it is an owner of overwhelmingly positive reviews. If you never played the original Half-Life, this remastered edition is the best way to experience it. No clunky old school graphics, no compatibility problems, great gameplay and a really interesting suspenseful story. Half-Life is a really nice game and Black Mesa may be the greatest way for you to try it. Far Cry 5. Released in 2018, this game still smells like a paint, or like blood, because here you will spill buckets of it. Your task here is to stand up to cult leader Joseph Seed and his siblings to spark the fires of resistance and liberate the besieged community. This is a very colorful game, a true gem for flowers and airy-fairy unicorn lovers. Also, there's a lot of guts and carnage in general, really great game. If a few years ago you were thinking that this may be a great game to try, but the price wasn't right, today you have no such excuse. I'm sorry. HellSign. This is a very entertaining game with terrible controls, but once you get used to them you will have tons of, not fun probably, but mostly liquid fear in your pants, because this game, despite it being played from an isometric top-down perspective, is really scary. Here you are a hunter, the last line of defense between our world and the creepy creatures that lurk just outside of it. By investigating the world around you and reading the evidence, you learn more about what you're hunting and how to kill it. Basically, this is a Conjuring, Supernatural and Ghostbusters smashed together into a one indie game. Although I must warn you that the game is really short, it also feels unfinished. In my opinion, it's not worth the full price, but now, on sale, it might really interest you. Human Fall Flat. This game was created by one man from the same country as I am, Lithuanian dude Tomas Sakalauskas. He sold over 30 million copies so far, so he's definitely not a poor person right now. And that is not a coincidence. The game is a very entertaining puzzle platformer with ragdoll mechanics. And the best review I have read about this game was written by IGN. They said,
"It's just dumb fun."
And yeah, that's what it is. Tons of laughing guaranteed. Blasphemous. Explore this nightmarish world of twisted religion and discover its many secrets hidden deep inside. Use devastating combos and brutal executions to smite the hordes of grotesque monsters and titanic bosses, all ready to rip you limb from limb. This is undoubtedly one of the greatest platformer games released in the past decade. Although be warned, Blasphemous is hard, it will make you rage quit. Oh yes, it will. The Surge 2. On the way to Jericho City, your plane is shut down by mysterious storm and crash lands in the outskirts. You wake up weeks later in a derelict detention facility inside the city. Armor-clad soldiers and force martial law robots are on rampage and dark expanding nanostorm looms over the cityscape. With an expanded arsenal of weapons, armors, abilities, implants and drones to build your character, and a bigger, more varied and more ambitious world, The Surge 2 challenges you to survive and unravel its hidden secrets. And everything here wants you dead, but you are not some lame puny peasant. You have your mechanical sword and can beat enemies with it and take their parts and make yourself better in the process. Imagine if you hand wrestle with a coworker you hate, then you win and take his eyes as a prize. Well, that took a dark turn rather quickly. Sunless Skies. Here you play the captain of a locomotive, a steam engine fit for off-rail travel, sailing the stars, leading your crew into trouble and out of their minds. Smuggle souls, barter for crates of time, stop for cricket and a cup of vodka. Discover more of the deep, dark and marvelous Fallen London universe. Also, if you like this one, check out Sunless Skies as well. You can play either game first. The stories coexist happily, just like vodka coexists with its bottle. Sunless Skies is a narrative game. All action is just an addition to a bigger story. Be prepared for that. It is a great game with very positive reviews on Steam, but it's meant for more mature audience who has a lot of free time and can appreciate the game in a slower manner. 2 Point Hospital. Here you will build and decorate a hospital, cure patients with utterly bizarre illnesses, train your staff and upgrade machines to create the most effective facility possible. Game is humorous. Here you'll find various funny diseases you can cure, or at least you can try to cure them. Also be sure that those illnesses are funny only to us, definitely not for our patients. You wouldn't want a severe case of penisitis on your face, I'm pretty sure of that. Control. A corruptive presence has invaded the Federal Bureau of Control, and only you have the power to stop it. The world around you is now your weapon in an epic fight to annihilate an ominous enemy across the deep and unpredictable environments. Containment has failed, humanity is at stake, so it's time to kick some paranormal ass. SCP vibes are really strong here. To be fair, this game feels like you are in a dream all the time. Well, a nightmare to be exact, because everything is changing all the time. The game is not scary, but it's ominous, that's for sure. Oxygen not included. Here you'll find that scarcities of oxygen, warmth and sustenance are constant threats to your colony's survival. Guide colonists through the perils of subterranean asteroid living and watch as their population grows until they're not simply surviving but thriving. Everything in your space colony is under your control, from excavation and resource allocation right down to plumbing and power systems. Resources will begin depleting with your first breath, so be sure to dig fast if you want to live. Although if someone from the Mafia says exactly these words to you in some moment of your life, it may not be entirely true. Do not dig. Dragon Age Inquisition. Some call this game Fantasy Mass Effect, it's really similar. Here you have a team of heroes and you can control all of them. You can pause the game anytime you want as well, but really nobody does that. Your strategy skills are kinda useless here, because your heroes are strong enough to kill everyone without intervention from above whatsoever. Well, most of the time. The game is plot driven, has deep and interesting storylines, great characters, and it will provide you with many hours of fun. If you like Mass Effect and Witcher or Skyrim, this game is definitely for you. Age of Wonders, Planetfall. Emerge from the cosmic dark age of fallen galactic empire to build a new future for your people. You'll build your kingdom with one of 6 unique factions, ranging from the militant vanguard to the dinosaur-riding Amazons, cyborg zombies, and underwater kittens of instant potato salad. Well, maybe not the latter, but I assure you the diversity of units is really nice. Game has a great single-player campaign and random skirmish maps. It's a fun game if you are a fan of games like Disciples or Heroes of Might and Magic. Death Stranding. Because you're obviously enjoying this list, I have a question for you. Have you subscribed already? Because that would be nice. So after the collapse of civilization, you must journey across a ravaged landscape crawling with weird threats to save mankind from the brink of extinction.
Hello, my name is Brink. I will make you extinct.
Anyway, the famous Danish actor Mads Mikkelsen and the Walking Dead hair model Norman Reedus gave their bodies and voices to the characters, so that alone is probably enough to catch your attention. Death Stranding is definitely not a standard game, it really differs from almost everything I have seen. And I've seen a lot. Once I saw a potato salad with pineapples in it. Oh, the horror, I couldn't sleep for days. Darkwood. This is a survival horror from a top-down perspective that is quite terrifying to play. Well, at first you may ask,
What is so terrifying in this? I can barely see things. They are so small.
you know what else is small? Of course you know, but don't worry, I can keep a secret, or can I? This game is all about immersion, and it will drag you in so hard you won't be able to escape. And also it will grow some balls on your hair, and maybe even on your eyebrows. Yeah, you heard right. Here by day you will explore the randomly generated ever sinister woods, scavenge for materials, craft weapons and discover new secrets, and by night you find shelter, barricade yourself inside abandoned buildings, set up traps and hide or defend yourself from the horrors of the Darkwood. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. You have a sword and you can swing it with great power and pleasure. Enemies are sliced like butter and your satisfaction is getting higher and higher with every adversary slain. This is a great game for sword fighting fans. It will grow great on you if you like, let's say, The Witcher 3 for example, because it has so many similar mechanics and fights are really entertaining. Although be warned, the game has weird difficulty curve, you can kill almost all enemies with ease, but sometimes it throws super hard adversaries at you and then you die a lot. That is annoying. I was forced, pun intended, to change my difficulty to pussy mode after a few hours of gameplay because I couldn't deal with some enemies even after several attempts. Or I wasn't strong enough yet to fight them. I don't know, the game doesn't tell you anything, you have to figure it out all by yourself. I have finished the game and I can say that this is a masterpiece, worth every euro or, you know, those American monies you have. Noita. Game will allow you to dive into adventure without sinking many hours preparing for battle. Noita is a magical action roguelite set in a world where every pixel is physically simulated. You'll fight, explore, melt, burn, freeze, and evaporate your way through the procedurally generated world using spells you created by yourself. Game is really fun and it's rare owner of overwhelmingly positive reviews on Steam. That alone should put this game onto your radar. Firewatch, one of the most immersive games I ever played. Firewatch is a single-player, first-person mystery set in Wyoming wilderness. The year is 1989. You are a man named Henry who has retreated from his messy life to work as a fire lookout in the Wyoming wilderness. An especially hot and dry summer is a great thing everywhere, except where you work. One smoking cigarette butt or one shard of broken glass and this beauty can become a real hell on earth in seconds. This is a game for adults with adult conversation themes. Despite that it's colorful and beautiful and all, it's not made for kids in any way. Frostpunk. This is a society survival game. As the ruler of the last city on Earth, it's your duty to manage both its citizens and its infrastructure. Optimization and resource management often clash with empathy and thoughtful decision making. For example, if a child is injured at work, you have several options of what to do next. Ban child labor, limit child employment to relatively safe jobs, or just ignore the injury and put children to work anyway. Because, you know, that body-warming vodka will not make itself, right? Paradise Lost. This is a beautiful walking simulator with great graphics, breathtaking environments, and an interesting story. The plot of a game unfolds in an alternative past where the Second World War persisted for 20 more years, only to end in flames where the Nazis launched the nuclear missiles on most of Europe. In the aftermath, the heart of Europe remains shrouded in mystery of complete destruction and deadly radiation, inaccessible to the rest of the world. You play as Szymon, a 12-year-old boy who discovered a massive Nazi bunker while wandering the barren, nuclear wasteland of Poland. Sadly, players are saying that the game suffers from a variety of bugs like stucking between textures and having triggers that don't trigger. But that does not happen for everyone. For example, I have played the game when developers gave it to me on the launch day, and I didn't encounter any of those in about an hour of my playtime. The Outer Worlds. This is definitely one of the best RPG games I have played in my life. It is funny, it has secrets, miniguns and places to explore. It's not just Fallout in space. I had more fun playing The Outer Worlds than I had playing Fallout 3 or 4, even if this is a bit smaller game. I can absolutely give it 9 vodkas out of 10 and recommend it to you without a doubt. Also, it looks like the upcoming Starfield took some, or let's be honest, a lot of inspiration from it. It literally looks like The Outer Worlds 2 or something. Although the game has some balancing problems. At first you die a lot, but later you don't bother to strategize even when fighting the strongest adversaries. You just click the left mouse button and hold it until everything turns into a mush of blood. Anyway, the game is great, especially for Fallout and Elder Scrolls fans. Hello, who is this?
It's Cthulhu calling!
So this next game is called, pun intended, The Call of Cthulhu. If you like Lovecraftian horror and detective mystery games, this is the title you have to try. The story unfolds in 1924. Here you are sent to look into the tragic death of the Hawkins family on the isolated Darkwater Island. And soon enough you will be pulled into a terrifying world of conspiracies, cultists and cosmic horrors. Nothing here is as it seems. Your sanity is all too often replaced by whisperings in the dark. People on Steam are talking that this game has only average glitchy graphics, but the story is great. And another nice thing, at least for me, is that Call of Cthulhu is short. It will take only about 8 hours of your boring life. The Talos Principle. You find yourself in a strange, contradictory world of ancient ruins and advanced technology. Tasked by your creator with solving a series of increasingly complex puzzles, you must decide whether to have faith or to ask the difficult questions. Who are you? What is your purpose? And why does potato salad taste so much better than anything else in the universe and beyond? Here you'll have to solve more than 120 immersive puzzles, divert drones, manipulate laser beams, and even replicate time to prove yourself and find a way out. If you think that you have a great intellect, this game will humble you down, I promise. Sea Salt. It's a dark fantasy reverse horror action strategy game with a comfy horror vibe where you play as the nightmarish force of Dagon, the Eldritch God, by controlling and growing a horde of evil minions. To say short, you are evil and you slay good guys. That is very nice, I like that. Game looks easy at the beginning, you just run after some weaponless guys and tear them to pieces, but later it gets harder and harder.
That's what she said.
And then everything in your control dies horribly. To say short, it's a great game. I have a review video of it on my channel, and back then I gave the game 8 cold beers out of 10, which is a really high amount of imaginary alcohol. Darkest Dungeon. This is a challenging gothic roguelike turn-based RPG about the psychological stresses of adventuring. Here you recruit, train and lead a team of weird heroes through twisted forests, forgotten warrens, ruined crypts and beyond. You'll battle not only unimaginable foes but stress, famine, disease and ever-encroaching dark. Uncover strange mysteries and pit the heroes against an array of fearsome monsters with an innovative, strategic, turn-based combat system. Game may not look like it's a lot of fun, but it is, believe me. Dungeons Free. If you have never played any Dungeons game, you can easily start with this one. Dungeons Free has a twist of a Warcraft freestyle map on top of your dungeon, which is an innovation in classic dungeon management games similar to Dungeon Keeper. The campaign will take about 30 hours away from your boring life. By the way, the campaign's co-op mode works really well, so having at least one friend will enhance your experience. Or you can trick your imaginary mother-in-law to play with you. You know, why imagine only a girlfriend when you can imagine more family and have more friends this way? Horizon Zero Dawn complete. So here you'll step into the boots of a young girl without almost any social skills or life experience, and, you know, you have to save the world. Sounds unlikely? Yes, but it's a game, deal with it. Here a bow and a mighty spear are your best friends. The melee aspect of the game will not leave any action fan disappointed. Battles are very dynamic and immersive, and exploration of abandoned ruins adds spice to this nice game as well. And this version also includes everything that was released over the years, including the DLC as well. Gears Tactics. This is one of my favorite turn-based games. It's easy to understand, it challenges your IQ and it's not boring, which is a rarity with the turn-based games, to be honest. Gears Tactics has great graphics, cinematics and really interesting encounters that had me pinned on my chair for hours and hours. And I was just going to play for a bit to make a quick first impression review on my channel, which I did, so you can watch it first if you decide to buy the game. The Last Campfire. A single-player puzzle-adventure game with overwhelmingly positive reviews. Not just simple overwhelmingly, but 97% of all people who bought this game are recommending it to you. That is not what you encounter every day. People on Steam are talking that this is a beautiful story-driven game filled with great art and even greater music. The puzzles game throws at you ranges from fairly easy to a medium. Nothing will bend your brains inside out in this game. So if you fail here somehow, it's a pure problem of your IQ, I am sorry. Warhammer 40k Mechanicus. Here you'll take control of one of the most technologically advanced armies in the Imperium, the Adeptus Mechanicus. You lead the expedition to the newly rediscovered planet and will try to seize power by customizing your team, managing resources, discovering long-forgotten tech, and by controlling your tech priest every move. People on Steam are talking that this game is highly addictive, well-written, and can be appealing not only for Warhammer fans, but also for simple folk that never even heard the word. I doubt the last one, but it's really hard to find any negative feedback. 92% of the reviews are positive, meaning that this game is only 3% short from overwhelmingly positive ranking. Hades. The game is action RPG but a roguelite as well, meaning that you will die a lot and then you will die even more. But that is the beauty of Hades. You know, like in other games, you die, you rage quit and then immediately uninstall. And here instead of that you will try again and again, because it's fun. People on Steam are talking that this is the most pleasant form of suffering they have ever endured in their lives. Steam is filled with virgins, so don't take their words seriously. But playing Hades, it's like stabbing yourself in the leg with a fork, but instead of pain you feel the amazing taste of potato salad. Yeah, with your leg. Deal with it. Game has overwhelmingly positive reviews, and that is because, you know, it is great. Conan Exiles. This is an online multiplayer survival game with mounts and mounted combat set in the lands of Conan the Barbarian. You'll enter an open-world sandbox and play together with friends or, with creepy strangers as you build your home or even a shared city. You will have to survive freezing cold temperatures, explore loot-filled dungeons, develop your character from a lowly peasant to a mighty barbarian, and fight to dominate your enemies in epic siege wars. People on Steam are talking that the game is a bit buggy and that can be annoying, but it also has boobs in it, and for this you can forgive everything. Ancestors Legacy. The game is a squad-based real-time strategy with a strong focus on tactics. Inspired by medieval European history, it brings to life 4 different nations and their conflicts, usually solved by war. Yeah, back then everything in Europe was solved by war. Everyone was like Russia back then, except not lame and not pathetic. You don't have money? Go to war. You have too much money? Use them to wage war. You are not in the mood today? Start a war. Your potato salad is too salty? So, Ancestors Legacy has very positive reviews on Steam, and if you are searching for some strategy game to kill time, this can be the title without a doubt. Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen. This is a massive, challenging action RPG that will drop you into a vast world full of different and originally made creatures and bosses. You will encounter a very dynamic combat experience. Cut off the 4 heads of a Hydra, climb atop griffins and fight airborne, or defeat dragons and other creatures by finding out their weaknesses. It's not Skyrim where you can just click with mouse buttons and then everything dies. Also, this version includes tons of content. All previously released DLCs, pre-order bonuses, retailer exclusives, and the Dark Arisen expansion content. Sounds great, why are you still here? Dysmantle. You can break almost all the objects for materials and craft new items from them. Explore the handcrafted open world and uncover its mysteries, clear areas of monsters and claim them as yours. Build bases, establish your presence and farm exotic plants to reap the rewards as crops get ripe. Game has 92% of positive reviews on Steam and only 3% short from overwhelmingly positive title. People are talking that this is very relaxing but also a challenging game. You will stumble on areas with a large group of zombies and will get stressed a lot, but later you will grow some potatoes and enjoy a relaxing atmosphere in your garden. Warhammer Vermintide 2. This is a 4-player co-op action game where you will control one of 5 heroes that have returned to take on even greater threat than before: the combined forces of Runo's Chaos Army and the swarming Skaven Horde. The only thing standing between utter defeat and victory is you and your allies. If you fall, so will the Empire. And knowing you, the Empire is doomed, I'm sorry. Game is an owner of a very positive reviews left by 65,000 players. People on Steam are talking that this title is just like Back 4 Blood, but actually good. I think this game is a great no-brainer to play with your friends or with your mother-in-law and show those ratmen who's the real boss. Well, as always, probably not you. Wildermyth. Overwhelmingly positive reviews. That is a promising beginning for this short preview. Wildermyth is a character-driven, procedurally generated tactical RPG. Like the best tabletop role-playing experiences, Wildermyth gives you choices and answers to your every decision with consequences that drive your characters forward. The best thing is that all heroes die someday. Yeah, that is probably not the best thing, to be honest, but here you get to hold on your favorites, reintroduce them in the next adventure, and over many lifetimes you create your own legendary pantheon. This game is great. Weird West. You will discover a dark fantasy reimagining of the Wild West, where lawmen and gunslingers share the frontier with creepy creatures. You will journey through a story of a group of atypical heroes written into a legend by the decisions you make. Each journey is unique and tailored to the actions taken. A series of high-stakes adventures where everything counts and the world reacts to the choices you make. Each playthrough is unique as the game tailors the story to the player's actions and past choices for an ideal dramatic arc, because you will be faced with brutal choices and consequences that can't be undone. Gamedec. This is a single-player, non-combat cyberpunk RPG. You are a game detective who solves crimes inside virtual worlds by using your wits to gather information from your witnesses and suspects, also to get to the bottom of deceptive schemes, save lives, and investigate the relationships between virtual worlds and their inhabitants. The game continually adapts to your choices and never judges. Sounds a bit like Disco Elysium, and that's a great thing. Although keep in mind that here you will not find any fighting. This is a civilized game where you deal with your problems using your mind and not your fists. Iron Danger. This is a tactical combat game with very cool time manipulation mechanic that blends the tactical depths of turn-based games with the action of real-time strategy. You'll be in control of 2 characters and will use a variety of skills and your IQ to overcome the challenges. I'm not gonna lie, I tried the game and my brain was overheating all the time. But, you know, it's me. Once I tried to solve an easy Sudoku and died. True story. The core of Iron Danger is its unique time control mechanic. You can rewind time for up to 5 seconds whenever you want, trying different strategies and combinations of moves until you find the right one for the task. Your characters can only take 2 or 3 hits at max before they die, so you will be rewinding all the time. In general, you can't really die here if you choose so, or more like if your IQ allows you to stay alive. That is a curse and a blessing in one. Alien Isolation. No game could scare me more than Alien Isolation, and I have played plenty of truly horrifying games, but the fact that I am an atheist makes most religion-based scary games not really scary for me because I don't believe in it. But the monster is way more closer to my fear centers because theoretically it could exist somewhere in the universe, and that makes it way more real than some ghosts. So here you are all alone in a giant space station and a xenomorph is hunting you. You have no guns. You are the prey. Sometimes it can take an hour without an encounter, sometimes you can feel it creeping up on you in the vents, sometimes you can hear it, and it can hear you, like for real. I have played it on my PlayStation 4 and there is a function where Xenomorph can actually hear you through the microphone and see you through the PlayStation camera, the real you, and if you move or you cough, you die. Breathedge. This is an ironic outer space survival adventure game where you will take on the role of a simple guy called the Man, who is just carrying his grandpa's ashes to the galactic funeral and suddenly finds himself in the middle of a universal conspiracy. A massive space hearse wrecks in deep space, leaving the area filled with debris, coffins, dead passengers, and yourself. Now you have to survive in this interstellar dump, uncover a global conspiracy, save the princess, and prepare for a good dose of nice humor. Like literally, this game is ridiculous, just like your virginity. Astroneer. Game is set during the 25th century intergalactic age of discovery, where astroneers explore the frontiers of outer space, risking their lives in harsh environments to unearth rare discoveries and unlock the mysteries of the universe itself. In this space sandbox adventure, you can work together with other players to build custom bases above or below the ground, create vehicles to explore a vast solar system, and use terrain to create anything you can imagine. Build giant balls and live inside. Be a zoidie if it's your dream. It's weird, but I don't judge. So basically you are invading beautiful planets with beautiful nature and making an industrial hell out of them. Yeah, screw nature, the galaxy is full of it. Days Gone. This is an open-world action-adventure game set in a harsh wilderness 2 years after a devastating global pandemic, which has made a lot of zombies out of unlucky humans. You'll take control of a bounty hunter trying to find a reason to live in a land surrounded by death. You will scavenge through abandoned settlements for equipment to craft valuable items and weapons, or take your chances with other survivors. Days Gone has very positive reviews on Steam, so if you like zombies, give it a try. Although, have you ever imagined that somewhere in the galaxy there is probably a planet of zombies and they are creating horror games about becoming human? And we actually are pretty terrifying. Doom Eternal. Last time I felt so good while shooting evil was more than 25 years ago when I was a fan of original Wolfenstein, Doom and Duke Nukem 3D games. I remember spending days and days in my friend's house playing them, while most of the kids our age were playing basketball outside. We were total nerds, and I'm still proud of it. Well, I'm still a nerd, but my friend moved to Taiwan and creates YouTube about motorcycles, so he's not a nerd anymore. What a shame. And I can recall that my friend's computer even had no mouse attached, only a keyboard to move and aim and all. Oh, those were the times, actually really bad ones if you compare them with nowadays. So this Doom got me back to those times quite easily, although I can't say that I finished the game. I bought it on Bethesda's launcher, and after a week of casual playing, my save games just stopped working. Thanks Bethesda, thanks John Romero, for nothing. Anyway, that was a mistake you are not gonna make. This is a Steam summer sale video after all, and I want to stress out that I'm not sponsored in any way for making this video. I'm saving your money absolutely free, but I can be sponsored by you, so I will remind you that there is a donation button right there. Yes, this one. You can support me and my work by, you know, donating. Thank you for watching, have a nice day, and I'll see you next time. Bye!